Coming off a very disappointing opening to Season 4 where we lost big to the Seattle Seahawks, though it was the debut of our Josh Allen 2.0, and during that game he also suffered a major injury, broken ribs, and is out for the next 4 games. So we have a lot to try to fix coming off a 42-14 loss. And as we start today's episode, we do have to do a couple different things to try to correct things a little bit, and we are going to start once again by making some adjustments to the gameplay sliders, because what we saw last week just did not make any sense. It came right after a patch, and the patch definitely seemed to mess things up. So again, we're going to make some adjustments here. I'm going to bump up quarterback accuracy by 2. Not trying to have perfect accuracy by any means, but just intelligent passing animations, accuracies that resemble that of the quarterbacks. Of course, we're going to be doing it without our starting quarterback, as Bo Harold is going to have to step in due to the injury of Caleb Harris. Now, on top of that, we also have to make a couple roster moves so we have a backup quarterback on roster, because right now it's just Caleb Harris. Again, he's going to be out for 4 weeks, and then Bo Harold. So we need to pull someone, and I believe we have a quarterback on our practice squad. We do in Greg Hannon. Now, he is a normal dev, 64 with the coaching boost. He's got some okay accuracies, just pretty even across the board. He doesn't have a big arm by any means, but he has some mobility. Hopefully he doesn't have to take the field. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. But we do need a backup quarterback. Now, obviously, that's going to move us over the 53 that we can have on the roster. So in accordance to that move, we're going to have to move down one of our offensive linemen, and that is going to be Emmanuel McPhee. And we have another thing that we have to do with the offense as well. But for now, McPhee's going to the practice squad. We will bring him back whenever we get back Caleb Harris. But as you might be able to tell, the rookie guard Brandon Moreland has been moved over to right guard. And that is because we saw some really bad play from the offensive line in week 1. Now, the Seattle Seahawks, they have a really good defense, so I don't want to take too many big changes, but we are going to give Moreland the start over Avila because I believe Avila had the worst game. And once again, I am keeping track of the stats for the offensive line because Madden stats for the offensive line, it really doesn't do much. So we're keeping track of hits, hurries, sacks, and just bad run blocking that basically cost us a run play. So these are the stats for the first game. At left tackle, David Williams gave up 1 hurry. At left guard, Calvin Hobart gave up 2 hurries. At center, George McAllister, it was a close race between who was the worst offensive lineman, and McAllister was in second. He gave up 2 hurries and 2 sacks. Avila gave up 1 hit and 3 hurries. So you could go back and forth between McAllister and Avila. I feel like throughout the starting time of McAllister, though, he's typically been better. So we were lenient on him for 1 game. So because of that, Avila is not going to be starting this next one. And Dickinson gave up 2 sacks. Not in love with the play that we have seen from Dickinson. Obviously, he was taken out of the starting lineup last year, but the ratings seem like they should be pretty good, but he just doesn't quite seem to do it. So he's on thin ice. If we end up having to make a trade for an offensive lineman, that is a possibility that we can do. But for this next game, we are going to be starting Brandon Moreland. He is a rookie hidden dev guard, and he is kind of balanced. He's shaded slightly more towards the finesse, but does have some pretty good lead block and impact block, and hopefully we'll see some good play from him. If not, we could definitely switch back to Avila. But today we are facing a division rival in the Arizona Cardinals, a team we have struggled against kind of historically throughout this series, maybe only 1 win against them. And they stole our receiver in Jalen Waddle in the offseason. So I would like to get a little bit of some revenge. So fingers crossed, we have a path to victory today through the running game. To open up home play, we are underway as Brown boots it off. Hopefully we're going to have a lot better showing again here today as we face the Arizona Cardinals. It's a team that for the most part has kind of stuck together. This has improved. Though, having said that, Kyler Murray coming off of a game of which he really didn't do all too much. No touchdowns, didn't have any interceptions or anything in that first game. Just 180 yards as they pop right over the top of Graham. Gonna be a first down gain of 14. Tight ends have continued to be a problem for us, and that was one of the main reasons we brought in Daxton Hill. Hopefully he improves that bit of our offense as it's almost a pick six, but dropped by a Debo. It is not often that he lets one of those get by him, but 2nd and 10 here, they're going to come out with an empty set. With 3 off to the right-hand side, to the left, and getting around Flowers, Kyler Murray now has all the room to run, outrunning the linemen, taking the hits from a couple different defenders, but down to the 37 with a gain of 25. Need to see better play there from the rookie edge guy in Flowers. He's got to be able to contain him. He has some pretty good speed, just needs to utilize it. As once again, Kyler scrambles though. He's going to find Waddle with a big gain, juking by 1, and a Debo drags him down at the 9. Now that is the kind of thing I want to see from our quarterbacks. Be able to move around in the pocket and still throw a pretty accurate ball. With a blitz right down the middle, Murray on Murray as Kyler Murray a little bit shaken up, holding at that knee. And I'm pretty sure that's the knee of which our Murray hit. So he's going to head to the trainer's table as their backup comes in. Handing it off, Algier down the middle with a truck stick. Not going to get by Daxton Hill, but a powerful run to the 3. Now, I don't have much of any information here on Farr, their backup quarterback. We'll see if he's a scrambler or what, but his first throw is a touchdown to Marquise Brown. It was a little bit behind him. Good adjustment from the vet. The Cardinals go up top. But here comes the return to the starting quarterback spot for Bo Harold. Was benched a fair few amount of times. A couple other quarterbacks have played, but he finds himself back out there behind center as we start with a run by Akers. Great blocking up front and a gain of about 15 yards. Play 1. And that's exactly what we're looking for today. And that was behind Moreland over at left guard, because we did have a practice injury to Hobart, so it basically took out everything that I started this episode talking about with switching the offensive lineman, so Avila is still out there. Though, we will still be having the first start for the rookie guard in Moreland. Now, RPO called up here, they're playing off coverage, so let's get this one out to Palmer. Try to put a move on the corner, or not really, and I thought that ball popped out for a second, but no. He just broke the tackle and then got tackled. And that'll leave us with a 3rd and 5 as they bring down Budda Baker. I'm still going to rock with it here, putting the ball in Nakua's hands. As we do pick up a good block there from Akers, though he's not going to find the corner. Will be a loss of 1, 4th and 6 at the 47. But considering how week 1 went, I'm going to be aggressive to start off here. Going for it on 4th down with a tight shotgun look here. We got Tommy Tremble going to the outside, but it's through his hands. Collins with great coverage there and forces the turnover on downs. So not a great start. Tommy Tremble hasn't really taken hold of that tight end spot as I was hoping he would. But it is Farr still out there at quarterback here for the Cardinals with a dot to Marquise Brown sprinting away, and 1 play touchdown. Cardinals now have a 2-score lead. And this team has got to find a way to score as we are on the hottest seat here in the NFL. Need to find a way to get this team going, and McAllister blocks the only gap we had. Through 3 seasons and about a game and a quarter, almost a quarter, we really have not been able to do much with this Rams team, and who knows what might happen if we don't. But we have Marshall on the big play here. Budda Baker forces us out at the 30, but finally a big play. You've just got to find ways to get a lot more of those. Luckily, the late developing slant works out for us as we go with the delayed handoff here. Following some blocks, sprinting to the outside is Akers. Tried to put the hurdle on, but instead dropped down at the 6. But another big run for Cam Akers. And we feel like we have to focus on the running game with this offense. Maybe that'll help open up some passing windows as we have the counter. Akers down to the 2. And we will bring out the rookie running back in Boley. Sub out Akers here. He needed the breath. It's goal line versus goal line. Cutting back, trucking through, and in. Boley capitalizes off of a great drive from Akers and some pretty good run blocking. Now, can we just not find a way to let a backup quarterback continue to rip us apart here on defense? We are finally on the board. It's 14-7. As the Cardinals start their next drive with another throw to the outside. Going to be a gain of 6. Farr opens his play 3 of 3, including 2 touchdown throws. So it's been pretty good since Kyler Murray went down earlier on. As we end the first quarter here, it's primarily been the Cardinals, but we finally put together a solid offensive drive, something we haven't seen all too frequently. The one thing we have seen pretty frequently is relying on this defense to keep us in these games as we need them to make a big play here. It's Bell right down the middle as we sent the double-A gap blitz. The DT hits home. And we need to see a whole lot more of that as it's 3rd and 12. They're in shotgun, got 2 to the right, 1 to the left. We don't bring anyone extra, but across the middle, they miss their guy. And Curtis Samuel, I believe it was, in defense, gets off the field. Now let's get this running game back out there and see how well we can do. Once again, we do have the RPO dialed up here. They're playing off guys, so we're going to try to get those cheap, easy yards as often as we can. And hopefully that also opens up the middle as they do stack it here on 2nd and 7. We got some pulling guards, and Moreland definitely missed the block we needed. Maybe get a gain of 1 there from Boley. But we are seeing a majority of the draftees we had from this last offseason all contributing today as we have 3rd and 6. Going to try to get the halfback screen out here to Akers, get the block we need, and we got the one that we definitely needed on the edge, and Akers converts to the 42. And can't always rely on true just down the middle running. If we could get the running backs involved in the passing game as well, all the better. As not much opening up here, Bo Harold's going to have to eat the massive sack, loss of 9. We definitely don't really have that dominant pass blocker on this team. That's something we might need to look to find as we tighten the shotgun set here. Coming across and once again overthrowing an easy throw. I don't know what it is here in Madden, but those ones have just been near impossible this year. As we were going to set up the halfback screen, but they're guarding the outside. So as Williams checks in here, trying to find a running lane, but they crash on it quickly. At midfield, 4th and 17, probably will have to punt. So right now our offense just really cannot afford to get behind the chains. And once again, going to be on the defense to keep this a 1-score game. As Farr still out there, haven't gotten any updates so far on Kyler Murray as there's an interesting tackle basically at the line of scrimmage from Swain. And at least as it stands right now, we're going to be seeing Farr for potentially a far distance of this game. 2nd and 9, setting up another throw. Pass rush working its way back there and overthrowing the mark. Jalen Waddle was open deep down the middle. But another opportunity for our defense to get off the field. It's 3rd and 9 back at the 21. As they're sending 4 verts, it's going deep. Adebo on and giving up the catch to Marquise Brown. He's had a phenomenal game so far today. Typically Adebo so good in those one-on-one situations. How many times has he come away with a pick? That time just didn't spot the ball as we get some pressure down the middle here. Flowers with good contain, but it's a perfect ball to Jalen Waddle. How many times are we going to not get the sack and have a dot go for 6? Now, if anyone is curious, Farr is a 67 overall quarterback with accuracies all in the mid-70s. And he's thrown better balls than any of our quarterbacks have, who all have better accuracy. So we need to find a way to balance out this game, as we also need some big plays from our offense. Jared Barnes injured, though, for the Cardinals. And we've really seen our best offensive performance while we've been focusing on the run. But we're down 2 possessions, so we've got to make sure that we're keeping up. As we had a lane. It closed rather quickly, just a gain of 2 going to Nakua. So on 3rd and 4, we have the draw set up, but they still have a guy down the middle in Collins who is a pretty sure tackler. So let's get tackled by him and maybe gain a yard. Offensive line's got to do better. But as we hit the 2-minute warning, even though we're backed up here, 4th and 3, the offense stays out on the field. Hard count, no one jumps. We just need a few yards here, and we finally get a good ball on a simple drag route. Tommy Tremble up to the 46 and out of bounds. Just need to build upon the little things that we can do. As it's 1:56 on the clock, we have all of our timeouts as well. Give this one out to Akers, pick up some blocks, a good block there, and a late hit, no flag thrown. Now on 2nd and 4, they're playing some off coverage here. 2 deep safeties, as we do have a couple deep options. We'll see how they line up against it. Can we get Marshall over the top? One-on-one with Collins, and it drops in beautifully. Terrence Marshall Jr. getting some more starting time this year and making the most of it. Now we just need to make sure that we start to limit what the Cardinals are doing, because we're finding some big plays here, at least every once in a while. With a throw to the outside, off the mark. There we go. We need to see a little bit more of that happening. Obviously looking to find some balance and true ratings-based gameplay here. Farr has been throwing dots majority of the game. Getting accuracies all down in the mid-70s as getting the legs chopped out is Samuel. And on 3rd and 4 here, a great opportunity again. Get the ball back before half, look for some more points, but the quick throw on the money to Njoku. First down just shy of the 40. Farr did really well there to get the ball out quick, read the blitz. See if we could get anything going here as we do get some pressure around the edge, but it's going to be Samuel once again with the catch. They've gone his way often today. And with 1:02 on the clock, Cardinals just shy of midfield. As once again, going to the outside, Njoku lands just out of bounds. We'll stop the clock. Feel like they're trying to bait us into getting something over the top. A lot of short, quick throws to the outside here. As once again, they do go that way. We had better man coverage that time, and it was just a bad throw. But we have another opportunity to get off the field here. 3rd and 4 at the 44. We don't bring out any extra pressure, but Graham just gives up an easy catch across the middle. That time it's Ferguson, their backup tight end, making the plays, and Njoku needed the breather. But they're definitely just steady moving down the field here, taking whatever we give them, and we're giving them way too much. With only using 1 timeout, they still have 30 seconds left, and they've moved the ball all the way down the field, pretty much, and we get lucky there. Samuel dropped that one, heard the footsteps. Now, we've given a lot of leeway to these linebackers over the course of this series, and we need them to start making some bigger, consistent plays. As across the middle again, Curtis Samuel heard the footsteps. 4th and 6 at the 35. I expect a field goal unit to head out. And that's exactly what we're going to see. It's going to be a long one here, 52-yarder. We don't get any pressure, and there's plenty of power and accuracy behind that one. Cardinals stretched their lead. But with limited time left in this first half, can Harold lead the way? 21 seconds and 3 timeouts is all we have, as we get a quick pass that's once again inaccurate. Kind of hard to build upon anything when you can't get these simple throws. Now 17 seconds left. We need to get to around the 40. 35 would be a little bit more safe. Across the middle, throwing an interception that looks like it might end up being a pick 6. Widening their lead even more. Bo Harold just forcing that one in tight coverage. And once again, we see a game where towards the end of a half, we let things very much slip away. It was a closer game than what the score shows, 31-14 at half, but overall, we're just not seeing good play from a lot of guys on this team. But let's see how other guys are doing across the nation here, or pretty close, still to home. 49ers, they're up 21-0 over the Broncos going into halftime. Matt Corral, the quarterback there for the 49ers, has started his time there pretty well. As for the second game, gonna be the Colts taking on the Browns, and it is Colts with the win, 21-9 over the 0-2 Browns. Watson hasn't started his year off very well either. Richardson, not too bad. And lastly, before we get back to our game, the Seahawks taking on the Giants. Giants up 7-0, a close game there. Kenny Pickett, not a good start for him that first half. 1 of 3, only 8 yards and an interception. Now, hard to talk about bad quarterback play when we've never had good quarterback play in this series. As we open up the second half, we're out on offense with an RPO going out to Jarrett. His first catch of the game goes for a gain of 7. And we're going to need a whole lot of tempo this second half, because again, we are down multiple scores and we got to get this offense going. With some good lead blocks downfield, it's Collins. That athleticism at backer is insane. But we'll not do hurry up there. Allow a rotation as we come out now with a spread look. Once again, going to get Akers out on the halfback screen. Quick, methodical, if that's even really a thing, if you could have quick and methodical play. But that's what we're going to try to do at least this second half. Again, we need scores as quickly as possible. Making a hot route there for Nakua to go out on a zig. 2nd and 4. They actually stick to the outside as Tommy Tremble gets the catch. Don't know if that was actually intended for him, but we will take it for sure. As once again, quick huddle here. Back out there trying to see if we could open up anything. Tommy Tremble coming across and once again not going to hold on to it. Really, we're hoping that when we brought him in, he was going to take that tight end spot to the next level, but we really haven't seen it. A single high safety here. We got a one-on-one. Ayers looking for a back shoulder, and it's off the fingertips. So on 3rd and 10. They're crowding the middle here, but that's exactly where we're trying to go. Akers tried to bounce it, but the blocking is just not there. So 4th and 12, we're out here still on offense because we need touchdowns. Punting is not going to help us at all here. Have a little bit of some play action. See if we could open some things up on the outside. It's Terrence Marshall, but the ball comes up and they're short, not empty. I guess kind of empty in terms of the tank. Falls well short, knocked away, and another turnover on downs. So perhaps we just need to be a lot more strict with some of the players we've seen, or potentially might be exactly what I've suspected with a broken save, as that's nearly a big catch downfield to Waddle. So I am interested to hear from you all. Do you think we should take a 2-day hiatus, maybe the second half of this week, and start to do a little bit of some testing in franchise to see if we truly do have a broken save? And by that, I mean starting a couple other franchises with random teams of quarterbacks of different levels and just playing a few games with just the offense and just seeing how they're playing on just straight up flat alt Madden difficulty, as there is a key catch for Marquise Brown. Again, he's had a dominant day today. And on 3rd down in tight coverage, he took the hit and he held on to it. Giving him a first down just past midfield. They got a bunch to the left-hand side. We bring the extra man. Knocking that one away is Conley. Now, one thing I am noticing today is our rookie rushers on the outside, they're not having much success. We've gotten some pressure from the interior, but not really much from the outside, as Conley once again there quickly gets the stop. And another opportunity here to make the play. And I've just noticed Kyler Murray's back out there at quarterback. Is this the first play? I don't know. I'm going to notice in editing at least. But Kyler Murray is back out there, throwing a dot to Algier on the outside, juking past the ankle tackle attempt, shucking off one more, and down to the 5. When given the opportunity time and time again, this team just can't prove that they can do it. 1st and goal, we send the blitz, they throw quickly to the outside, and it's tipped around, and I swear if they caught that for a touchdown, I was going to be upset. And they did pick up an injury there, though can't quite remember who it was, as Kyler scrambling, trying to find the corner and past the diving Johnny Smith. Looking like that knee is just fine. Now as we retake the field on offense, we are down 38-14. Needing to find some big plays wherever we could find them, and we were trying to rely heavily on the running game today, but down this amount of points makes you feel like you have to throw. And that might just be playing right into what the Cardinals want. But we're going to try to be competitive still here, despite the lack of decent play, as we just can't throw. If the quarterback is moving at all, or if there's a pass rusher within 3 yards of us, good luck. So I'm definitely starting to lean more towards the fact that we're just going to have to start running some tests here, see if we do have a broken save, as Jarrett definitely could have caught that after the tip, but 4th and 7, got to punt it away. Though I do have to say, in the current state-only challenge we have with the Southwest, we don't really have any super high overall quarterbacks right now. Jordan Love is the guy, and he's a 81 overall, I believe. And we've seen some pretty bad inaccuracies in that series as well, which is the first time we've seen it in a state-only challenge. So I'm definitely intrigued to jump into some testing and see if it's just a problem in Madden 24 or if it is truly a problem with the save. I'm not sure if that's a thing, as Kyler Murray takes another hit from the other Murray. At least this time he does bounce back up. 2nd and 7 now for the Cardinals. They got 2 spread either side. Throw to the outside, dropped by Curtis Samuel. We'll say at least the last couple drives, Conley looking like he's building up a little bit of some momentum or something. As it's 3rd and 7, they're gonna flip the play here, or at least just shake up where guys are lining up. Opening some play across the middle, a 2nd sack for Nick Bell. Though they only credit him with a half, that's definitely a full sack for him. Now, as we head back out here on offense after the defense does get a stop, we start the 4th quarter. We're down big here. As we're having to roll out, we have a receiver coming across, but bumped. Gonna go for Palmer, but it's swatted away. No flag for the intentional hit. So on 2nd and 10, let's go with a play we know we could get some yards on. With the RPO to Palmer with the off coverage, and we get 3. As another injury for Barnes, he was shaken up earlier in the game. And that time he does end up leaving the field, leaving us with a 3rd and 7. Hard count, Dickinson moves over on the right-hand side. And considering we already have a hard time converting 7 yards on a play, gonna make it worse for us with now 3rd and 12. Hard count this time, no one jumps. As we're gonna have a guy cross the middle, it's Jarrett with the catch, and why not, let's go for it again. 4th and 4 at our own 24. Hard count, no one moves. Just need some opening somewhere across the middle. Jarrett was working his way open, but it's a sack for Kinlaw and a turnover inside the red zone. Obviously not the smartest choice to go for it there, but you're already down 38-14, and you just might as well, considering we need a miracle to somehow just stay semi-relevant in these games. As it's 1st and 10, drag route going to Njoku will be a gain of 8. With under 7 minutes left in this one, Cardinals trying to extend their lead into the 40s. They need a touchdown to do so, or even a field goal, honestly, would get them to 41. And they'll have an ace set here on 1st and goal. Handing it off right down the middle, and the blocking dominant over this D-line. Algier walks in, takes a late hit, and it is going to be 40-plus points given up. And as we'll have probably just one more drive here with the offense, see if they can score at a haul. We handed off, a gain of 2 goes to Akers. I will say throughout our time with the Rams, he's been phenomenal for us. Really the only consistent guy that we've had. As we toss this one up, it's gonna get picked off by Budda Baker. Tried to loft that one over the top for Jarrett, but we're just not having it today. And that will inevitably do it for us in this one. Cardinals would go on to tack on another score, as we would then give up 52 points. 52-14 is the final one, and depending on how these testings go, this could have been our final game with the Rams. But of course, we're not going to end it there with the Rams, but I do believe starting tomorrow, we are going to jump into some testing. We're going to open up a couple different franchises, have these same settings for both of them. It's going to be the MAT 10 sliders on all Madden. And it's going to be with teams with various different levels of quarterback. We're going to have low overall guys, mid overall guys, and high overall guys, all at quarterback, because that is really the primary focus, I think, for this team. Obviously, we've seen some bad play on other spots, but I think the biggest shining light of how broke possibly this save could be, again, it could just be Madden itself this year is just bad. But we're going to jump into some tests and we're going to see how the quarterbacks play. If we see the same kind of play in all those different series or all the different franchises we open, because again, there'll be multiple in each. If we see the same play, we're going to come back and we will continue this franchise and hopefully find a way to make the Rams good in some way, shape, or form. Opposite of that, if we do go through the franchises and we are seeing that there's a lot better play from not only just the quarterback, but from around the board, then we will come back and we will finish this season off in a good way. I'm not just going to leave it hanging. I don't leave series hanging. We always finish it how there should be finished. So again, starting tomorrow, we will not be having the Rams franchise. We are going to be starting our first testing day. We'll probably have at least 2 episodes of that, potentially 3, just to make sure we have a good sample size of, again, if this series is broken or if it's Madden itself that is broken. So make sure that you stick tuned as we will be starting that testing tomorrow. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right or scroll down, hit the subscription button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. Normally, this series every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Again, we will be testing tomorrow. Do again, though, as I mentioned earlier on in the episode, let me know your thought process about it. We are still going to have the state-only challenge on Wednesday and Saturday. Will be at least 2 episodes of testing because, again, I want to make sure we have that good sample size, maybe that 3rd, and then wrap it up on either Friday if it's just 2, or wrap it up on Monday if it's 3. Again, that's only if the testing does not go well for this series, but we will all see tomorrow. So until then, I will see you guys later. Bye.